Oh, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Oh my gosh, it's the first Monday
Of
of
the
the
year
Of the year.
year.
Yes.
So
2020.
happy Monday to
Amen.
everyone. Oh my goodness. Amen. We're so glad to be here. It's our favorite night, honey.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened, but
we, we blame you.
I don't know how that happened.
We
We
blame
came on
you.
here because we was bored,
Yeah, during
and this is
COVID.
like 2 years later. It's
Yeah.
really crazy.
On goal setting. All right. So I'm posting that and we are there. Oh, Monty's here already. Hey, Monica, the
Let me
hostess
turn
with
my
the
laptop down
mostest.
here.
Amen. Welcome, you guys. We're super duper glad to be here the first Monday of 2022. Ooh, this brand spanking new year
You
with
said it
all the
right. I've been saying
wonderful.
2020, 2021.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, 2020 is
I've been
mostly.
saying
I've been saying 2020.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2020.
How did that happen? Like,
I don't know. I'm going
we
backwards.
reverted.
Yeah. Maybe we're trying to
Oh,
go back to the
wow.
good old days.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord, yeah,
But 2020
beforehand,
wasn't.
yes, yeah. That's not 2020 though. I don't think
No,
so.
yeah.
Hey
Me too.
Amber, welcome. We're glad you're on.
So let me
All
find you
right,
guys
yeah,
here.
find it, babe, and then I'm gonna go to my page. Or do you see it on my page, Alicia?
Hmm.
Let's see,
Okay,
Amber
good.
and
I see it.
Monica.
You see
Okay, good.
Janetta P. Thomas Staples. I'm on her page. I'm not seeing it.
Uh-oh. Well, let me get there. There it is. I see it now.
Okay, let me go
All
on.
right.
Scroll down a little bit.
Scroll
Yeah, you have to
down.
scroll down
You might see
because I
it
think I
that
still have a
way.
pinned post.
I was looking at the other one that you did. Okay, all right.
Pop it. What did you
I'm
Yeah,
having
because we got
light
engaged on January 3rd in 2016. This is our like engagement anniversary.
anniversary. Yeah. I'm trying to get my lighting right here.
Oh, engagement
I'm glad
anniversary.
I saw that on Facebook this morning.
Oh, uh, so you can remember.
Glory. I'm just gonna
I
smile.
knew it was January, but
You would think after all the theatrics, sir, that would be
yeah,
like
yeah,
ingrained.
that's true.
You would think. All right, so we are so glad to be on tonight. We're so excited. I'm just like grinning from ear to ear because I've got um, a couple of my besties. I can't
Yeah.
believe like we've become best friends in like what a
Yeah.
few years.
Mm.
Like it's just super cool.
I just
And
light problems, y'all. I'm
yes,
sorry.
you're just all aglow. There's
I
just
know.
this like
I'm gonna be
this
still.
aura.
But we can see you. You're
Yeah,
fine.
you look fine. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see you. Lots of light. Lots of light. So we want to say welcome, welcome, and you guys, you have time to share. Let me see. Um, I'm on your
That's
page.
what you'll see us doing if we're looking
If we're
down.
looking down,
We're
hey,
trying to
there's Mom
share.
Newman. All right, now we can start. Mom Newman's here. We're good to go, and Corey's here. Thank you, Corey. All right, so let's kick it off. That's right. Monica said, "Let's go." So we're gonna go.
Y'all don't look at those numbers, you know. It is
So
what it
we have
is.
some wonderful people on tonight,
Yeah.
and this is 2022 with all of its. I don't have a word yet. I'm thinking of a word, but it's gonna be a very
Interesting.
interesting ride. It's gonna be an
Interesting.
interesting ride,
Yeah.
and so I
Yeah.
have some of my besties here tonight, and we're gonna talk tonight about goal setting and
Yeah.
planning
Yeah.
for success. Now, everybody, most people talk about New Year's resolutions.
Don't do it.
Okay. And this one, he's like, no.
Don't do that to
And
yourself.
why do you say don't do it, babe?
Well, because once you put it out there, you can't take it back. And once you say it, everybody's like,
Exactly.
when are they gonna do it? So yeah.
And I did go back and look, and it's only between 8 and 12% of people who make
Is it
resolutions
that much?
who actually carry them out to some level. Like at least they do something. But
I
most
made
people,
one. I
huh?
made I made a
You
resolution.
made one
Did
this
you make
year?
one this
Okay, go
year?
ahead and tell us so we
Okay, you
can
want to
watch you.
share?
I'm gonna share. So my resolution is to not use profanity because I shouldn't anyway.
I
So
remember.
I
You say,
Oh, that's a good
Oh.
one.
girl, you gonna
No.
come on up. I'm gonna pray with you. Hallelujah.
and I'm giving out money if people hear me using.
Yes.
Okay.
We used to have a potty mouth jar
Well,
at
I'm gonna
work.
call you every day, Robin.
Call every day. Yes.
So yeah,
So since you put it out there, so who you been using profanity on?
Oh,
girl?
Robin. And then she'll say, "Oh, Pastor Burnett, I know you're a pastor and I ain't supposed to be cussing in front of you, but I just gotta cuss this time."
right. Same with Warlesea. I'm like, I know Warlesea, you don't cuss, but yeah.
And then one time, I don't know, something happened and she was like, "I'm gonna cuss for you." Robin, she volunteered.
Well, we have a good friend, and his mom won't do it, but he be like, she was on the verge.
On the verge. She's like, on the verge of a curse. She's on the verge. You have to do this. That's a good one, though. That's a really good one. And I think there's something to be said for agreeing with yourself
Yeah.
that I know I need to change and I'm committed to working on it. It doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect, but I'm committed to working
Yeah,
on it.
and a lot of times you feel like that. It really is justifiable, but we have to find better ways to say it.
If it wasn't for my resolution.
You be having a really good reason to do that, but don't do it, Robin. Don't do it.
And I just be like, I just put my finger at me like,
Yeah.
my.
I'm going to get back to you.
But I
Yeah.
can't even imagine her.
I know she's so cute.
Yeah,
like you
I
could
mean,
not imagine
I
that.
cannot even
Oh, wait.
imagine Robin.
That's my BJ.
And with the halo over
Oh,
here.
that's my BJ. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always the cute, quiet ones,
But
right?
you're gonna
It's
be all
always
right,
them.
Robin. You're gonna
You're
be
gonna be just fine. So we have a lot of people who start off the year, and this is that time where everybody's like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do the other. But most of us know that we've done this before, right? And we didn't quite meet our goal. That's how we'll say it. So tonight we thought, as it is the first Monday night of the year, first week, it's only the 3rd. There's still time. That we would talk about the process of setting goals. Why is it important to set goals?
Right.
Maybe not a resolution, I think.
Right.
Or if you're bold, a resolution. I like that, Robin, when you say, listen, I'm going to change.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you got your potty mouth jar ready, right?
Yeah, well,
You gonna pay?
it's okay because we all should change.
We all should
no
do
matter
something.
where we are. There is some corrections to be done here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have to do them on ourselves. That is true.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, but maybe you've been thinking about a goal. Maybe there's something you really want to do. And so, you guys, I brought in the most successful women I know. 3 of the most successful women I know. And these women
well,
are.
I'm looking forward to the show.
Ooh-wee.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
mean,
do it.
when I say success, when I define success, I will say it is determining what you will do and doing what it takes to do what you say you will do.
Right.
And I've known these ladies now for 2 years plus.
Yeah.
Wow, one day when I grow up, I'm gonna be just like them. I'm telling you, I'm letting them groove me right now. But they are all entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. And for entrepreneurs, time is money.
Yeah.
So when we talk about goal setting and planning, what we're talking about really earnestly is managing our time, focusing our energies to manage our time. And I'm going to say 2 more things and I'm done. Time is the most valuable commodity. I can always get more money, but I cannot get more time. When I give you my time, I have given you the gold of my life. Man, that's deep. I need to put that in a Facebook post. And then the next thing I'm going to say, honestly, is being able to value and manage your time. That is so important, that whole box there. And the next thing is your health. Because no matter how much time you may have, if you're not healthy, if you're too sick to do anything, now it's a waste. So that being said.
But I think you're jumping the gun here because we start out our show with prayer.
We're going to pray.
Okay, so
Come
let's
on.
not get going before we do that. So who's going to volunteer?
Yeah, who wants to pray?
It would be you.
Wait, you can't volunteer not me.
No, I think
Come on, Warlesea. Say
Warlesea.
No,
Alicia
you
for
do
us.
it. You do it. It's your show. You go.
No, well,
You see
we don't pray on our show.
We
Our
regular-
guests pray.
we
So
regular-
I guess that's up
Well,
to
Alicia is good.
Alicia then.
Alicia, okay. All
Yeah.
closed and heads bowed.
Thank you.
Father
You
God,
can do it.
so much
Thank you, Lord.
time together. Thank you for allowing all of us to come together in this community that is so special, led by my sister and brother Nate and Bernetta, but
Mm.
with my other sisters, Warlesea and Robin, and so many other people that are in the community that are watching. Father, we are thankful. We are so grateful that we just celebrated your birthday, and we're
Mm.
to kick off this year, this brand new year tonight, talking about something that is so important, which is setting goals and how we actually accomplish that. Lord, knowing that you order all of our steps.
Yes, 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 yes.
And Lord, we keep asking that your will be done, but that we're intentional and we're focused and we take full advantage of the gifts that you've given each and every one of us, that we take the time, Lord, to identify what those gifts are, to identify our purpose and identify what we're on this earth to do, to be able to glorify and honor and praise you, and to be able to serve the people that are around us. To know
Yes, yes.
as we spend this sacred time together, because we know that you are here, where two or more are gathered in your name, you are present. Lord, we feel your presence right now.
Yes.
We're thankful for everything that is going to be shared tonight. Lord, we're thankful for the people who's here to, and even the people that come on later on replay that
Yes.
learn
Yes.
more, but they will get the nourishment, the encouragement,
Mm.
inspiration that they need, the concrete
Yes.
tools and resources that they can readily take hold of, Lord, and apply. And if they need more, they can come, they know where they can come back. They can come to you, but they can also come back here, Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
Platform. We thank you for what you're going to have us share tonight, because it's all coming from you. And we just say, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get, into this place and let it get juicy. And let's share some good stuff, some good news tonight, Father. We thank you,
Mm.
the honor, the praise, and the glory. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Great.
Hey,
Beautiful.
good job. Good job.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're going to go around and we're going to do introductions.
Yeah.
And so, Warlesea, why don't you go first? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Warlesea Fatta, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las
All
Vegas.
Las
right.
Vegas.
All right.
Yes.
I
So
can't wait
with-
to come visit. I can't wait.
Yes, you have to come. You have to come.
Visit. Yeah.
I live here with my husband and my 3 children. They're pretty much all grown. But
All right.
with my 3 children here. And I've been here in Las Vegas for about 13 years now. This
Oh,
will
wow.
be coming up, be my 14th year.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm originally from Pennsylvania. And
Whoa.
I've
Big
only been
name.
here 13 years, going on 14 years. So
Okay.
yes, I love it.
All right. So you
Wow.
moved from Pennsylvania to Vegas?
Yes, we moved from Pennsylvania to Vegas. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, and
Okay.
we moved to Pennsylvania when I was about 4, and
Okay.
that's where I grew up in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
I'm more familiar with Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah. Great.
Bless
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. And how long have you been in business, Warlesea?
I have been in business for myself, but right now my current company are going on 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Yes, but I've been an
All right.
entrepreneur for 20 some odd years.
20
All
some odd
right.
years.
Yeah.
Lord of mercy.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's good.
All right. Come on, Miss Alicia. Tell us all about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Alesia Jackson, and I am a wife. I've been married to my husband, Tony, wonderful husband, for this coming March will be 32 years.
32 years.
Ooh. Wow.
So I love being married, and so does he. And I just think it's such a great thing. So anyway,
Yeah, beautiful.
and then we have 2 children. One is gonna be 24 later on this month, and the other one has just turned 19 in December. So the 24
Okay.
Memphis. So she just graduated from college and then took a job, in Memphis. And then my son lives at home. He's going to college locally. And I've been an entrepreneur. I was in corporate America working for Fortune 500 companies for 20,
Okay.
and then became an entrepreneur. And I'm probably been about going on 16 years now, 15, going on 16 years now. And I
Wow.
love being an entrepreneur. I
Yes.
just
All right. Great. Absolutely.
And one of our listeners said that was a very beautiful prayer, Miss Alicia.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And I thank you so much. And I do live in the city of Irvine. So I'm
Irvine, yes, I got to come
City
sleep on
of
your couch too. Okay, come and
Irvine.
sleep on your couch. All right, and of course, you guys are all familiar with this beautiful lady, Miss Robin Allen. She's been on our show, man, a couple of times now. We've had her
Yeah.
come and just, man, and then of course, she's
Yes.
famous now for her poop video. Yes, her
Oh,
poop video on Instagram.
Well, yeah, of course, because she's the only one that's bold enough and qualified to tell us about that.
that's so funny. People were so mad. I got some like hate mail. Hate comments. They're like, what? They were like, who poops that many times? Really? I was like, you probably should.
You should, right? Absolutely. Yeah, you should.
They were like, I can't poop once or twice a day. I was like, then don't. I'm just telling you, you should.
Oh God!
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. When she first, we did a video at our first health night. Remember that, babe? We did a
Yeah.
video.
And everybody was quiet
It was
as they
quiet
listened to her.
while they were listening.
And they was afraid to look around.
Yeah. And
'Cause
then
they didn't want nobody to know that they were going like once.
yeah, and then she talked about the poop, and everybody was like, "Ooh!" I mean, there was a stir in the congregation. It was like, "Oh man, we need those gummies. Let's get those gummies." So
Yeah.
come on, Robin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Real quick. Okay. So my name is Robin. I am I guess a nutritionist by title, but I have been an entrepreneur for 20 years. That means for 20 years. 20 years. I left my real job with insurance when I was 27.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I've been on my own. So I'll be 47 soon. So for 20 years. And it has been interesting. I would
She
tell you
told her
that.
age.
She sure did.
Yeah.
She's a cutie pie.
So I have a daughter who's 16.
Yeah.
What else, you all? I live in California in Riverside for now, and I don't know what else. I love business. I love planning.
These
That's
are the
why-
best planners, Robin. It's the best planners on the planet. So
I'm a little bit
Ooh,
crazy.
wait.
I'm a little bit crazy with it, but
all right, so we're so glad to welcome all of you on tonight. And our topic, of course, is all about planning. It's all about setting goals and planning for success. That's our title tonight. So I want to throw it out there. Why goal setting? Why is that important? And just whoever wants
Well,
to
I
jump
feel
in.
like with goal setting, if you don't set any goals, you're not going to reach any targets. You're not going to reach anywhere. You're not going to
Wow.
get to anywhere you might want to go if you don't have a goal.
If
You
don't
have to
a
set a
plan.
goal.
You
Wow.
have
That's
to
good.
set a goal.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alicia?
you're right. Oh, go ahead, Alicia.
You have to a goal. If you do not write it down and set a plan,
Mhm.
kind of structure, then it is nothing more than a wish.
Right. Wow. Okay.
You have to, and I personally like to set SMART goals.
Mhm.
SMART is an acronym for specific. The S is for specific, the M is for measurable, the A is for accountable or something that's actually achievable, the R is for realistic, and
Wow. I like that.
the T is for time-based. It has to have a timeline, deadline. Otherwise, if it's open-ended, it never gets accomplished, just like what Arlesia said. So
Oh, well, I hope somebody wrote that
Yeah,
down.
that's very important. So we're definitely going to go over that again. And Alicia, I want you to get closer to your mic because your voice is going in and out for us. So yeah, get a little closer and say that again. You must develop SMART goals. Now those, your kids will know what this is because they hear this in school quite a bit. But tell us what SMART goals mean one more time? Say that again.
Okay, so specific is something that is a well-defined goal, something that's clear that anyone would be able to know what you're talking about in terms of the knowledge of the project or whatever it is you're talking about. So something specific would be, I want to lose 10 pounds by such and such and such. Okay. Measurable would be something that is quantifiable. Okay. Though, how are you going to track that? So one way might be, I'm going to utilize the Weight Watchers app to track my food intake, my goals, my water intake, what I'm eating. Or I'm going to have a food journal, something like that. Accountable is, again, there's an agreement with the stakeholder or stakeholders. If you have an accountability buddy, if you have a fitness trainer, you have a health coach, it's some way you're going to be held accountable for this. And it's something that is, again, a way for you to be able to make sure that you're achieving progress. The realistic is something that you cannot lose 60 pounds in a month. So it needs to be something that it's realistic, that you actually can achieve. Okay. And there's a reason for that. You don't want to set something that's so pie in the sky that's completely unattainable that you lose faith in it and you just can't,
Right.
and then you give up before you even get started, right? And if you have the availability of resources available to you. So, I mean, are you going to shop for the food that you need to have in the house to be able to do the things that you need to? I mean, so all those different types of things. And then finally, what's the timeline? What's the deadline? By when are you going to accomplish this? And then once you have your end date, then you back in to, okay, well, I've got this date, and then I'm going to set, different benchmarks so to speak. Well, that's just kind of of a framework that I've taught my kids. I teach anybody that I have an opportunity to mentor to use that framework, because it usually means that you actually will achieve this. And one other quick little thing I'll just say is that I was able to get 18 Eagle Scouts, Boy Scouts, using this method. And the templates that they happen to have for Eagle Scout, got them all the Life Scouts across to Eagle, including my own son. So it works.
All right.
So setting goals are important, because if you don't set a goal, you're just kind of aimlessly living. And if you're going to set one, it should be SMART. It should be specific and measurable, and you should have some accountability there. And what was the R?
Realistic.
And then have a timetable to it. All right. So, Robin, what would you add to that? Why is goal setting important?
Well, it's important, as they said. I'll concur to what they said. And I want to say another thing. What I do with my goal is I write it down. I rewrite it every day. And I look at it and make sure that this really is, first of all, is it my goal? Because sometimes we have a goal that's really not, it's a goal, but it's not really your goal. And so when I write it down, rewrite it, I'm like, yeah, that is what I'm working on. And then why? So I really am super analytical, but I'm writing it down every day, seeing, how, what are my next steps? And I always ask myself, what's the goal and what is the next step to it? Yeah.
That's good. Write it down every day.
I know something that I tell my kids all the time is, which I'm sure you've all heard it and probably used it, but if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's how I started carrying a calendar. That was it. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And I've never been like the F girl. Failing is like, oh my gosh.
Yes, a bad word.
Yes, a very bad word. And as a like, I love learning. I love calendars and pens and markers and things like that. But timelines bring structure for me. Having the ebbs and flows and semesters and quarters and all the things. I guess that's why I'm still a teacher. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
With goal setting is a lot of times we set a goal and we don't look at the potential obstacles to that goal. Because you can, I mean, just setting the goal, you can set one, but it's like, okay, well, what are the threats, the risks? What are the
what are the barriers?
Right.
Yeah, because I think looking at running a business, I mean, there are all kinds of things that you just couldn't COVID think of, right? There's just things like, what happened? So
Yeah, who planned for that? That's what I want to
Right.
know.
That's the
Who
thing.
planned for that?
Right. It was written, so if we can't act like we didn't know something was coming. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
I digress. But I think that is you look at, okay, well, what's the barrier to my goal? And I'll use the weight loss, because that's a lot of people's goal right now. But it's like, okay, everybody puts this, I want to lose this weight or do this, but they still have the same environment, or they're still living with the same people that are eating the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how likely is it to get to the goal? So whatever the goal is, like, what is really going to impede you to reach that? One of many things that I really realized what stops me from reaching my goal is my thoughts. And so I spend a lot of time working on my thoughts, because that is, anytime I reach a goal, is because I was really mindful of what I was doing. And when I don't, it's because I was doubting or thinking or doing something mentally that wasn't serving me. And I think we can say, make them smart, do all of these things, but if we're not mentally committed,
Focus.
Right.
well, but in keeping, you gotta keep, it's like taking a bath, or a shower. I take baths, but you gotta do it every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Right. And so when you're working on something, because it's sometimes the goal seems very far out, you gotta work on that, the mindset all the time, over and over again.
Right.
And I wanted to piggyback off of what Robin said earlier too, is knowing that it's your goal. You need to know that it's a goal that you really want to achieve, because if it's not, you're not going to work as hard at it, because it's hard work. It's like Robin was saying, it's hard. Things come up, COVID happens, and that's things that you really, really do not plan. Someone may come in from out of town expectantly, just so many different things. And if you are not focused, or if it's not a goal that you really, really, really want to achieve, then you will allow all those things to come in and take you away from it. You have to have buy-in from your family. You have to have buy-in from your kids. You got to have buy-in from, even if I have family that lives on the East Coast, I live on the West Coast. So I have to have buy-in from my East Coast family, because they may call me at a certain time. And when they call, they want to talk to me right away. But if I am focused and I'm doing something that is working on my goal, I got to ignore that and let them know, look, this is what I'm working on right now. So you got to get that buy-in. But you won't do any of that if it's not your goal that you're really, really working on.
Right.
Alicia and Warlesea, and I'm going to say this, they are masterful at pushing through to get to their goal. And when I tell you masters at it, I look at them and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not as masterful, because even like Alicia, she's had a variety of obstacles, right? And was still, I'm like, Alicia, you can just relax. You don't have to do it.
Like, you don't have to do this.
Pushing up. And Warlesea, the same thing. I'm like, can you rest? Can you go to sleep? I'm gonna sleep for all of y'all then. I'm gonna be the
She will. She'll take a nap for me in a minute.
You're doing too much. I'm gonna take a nap.
My goal is to take more naps this
Right.
But when the goal is yours,
Mm-hmm.
you are just unstoppable. And they're things that come up. But when it's yours, I've seen Alicia and Warlesea, when they're just in it, they really, I mean, wow, they're amazing at pushing through. And I can't say that I'm that, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, Alicia.
I think one of the things that I would love to share with everyone here and with the audience is that something that I did last year, And then I had an opportunity to look at back the last year at the goals that I set. And there's so much value in being able to put something down. And then you look, I believe that spirit all conspires on your behalf. When you speak it, when you write it down, when you really give it out to the Lord, and you're committed to what you say that you want to do.
Right.
I believe that the resources come into play. I believe that God brings the resources, the people, the tools, the different things, as long as your goal is righteous, as long as your goal is a good goal, as long as your goal is something that is beneficial and it's not going to harm anybody or anything like that. I think that all of those things come into play. So one of the things that I'd like to share that I do, and I'm going to do it again this year because it worked so well. I didn't achieve everything, but I made progress in the things that I didn't achieve, but then I achieved a lot of things that I had put down. So we already talked about SMART goals. And so now I would like to talk about the 7 key areas of your life that I would like to encourage and inspire, and to ask your listeners to consider doing.
Okay, so our listeners, you guys need to go get a pen.
I
And
know.
some
I was
paper.
thinking the same thing. Like, I gotta write this
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Normally, I have my notebook right here, but I'm like, wait.
Well,
Some juicy stuff. We're coming up some good stuff.
yeah.
But
Well,
they can always,
Monica is pretty good at getting the
Yeah,
notes,
she's really
putting
good,
it in there.
but
So
okay, so I'll talk slow. So the seven key areas of life that I would like you to ask your audience to consider placing SMART goals in are
okay,
for faith, seven F's: so faith, family, fitness, field, which is their business or their career, friends, fun, and finances.
okay. I have faith, family, fitness. What's the next one?
Field, your career, your business.
Okay,
Friends,
okay.
fun,
What was that?
Friends and
Friends.
fun
fun, and finances.
and finances. Okay.
Okay, so now what I'm going to say is, in each one of those 7 key areas, I want you to break it down a little bit more, and I want you to set a annual 1-year goal, a 90-day goal, and a 30-day goal. Write on a piece of paper, a lined piece of paper, and just write the 7 categories. And then under each category, I want you to write 1 year, an annual goal. And so I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of one, just so you have an idea of what it looks like. So faith, my goal was my annual goal was or my 1-year goal was to complete the Bible in 12 months. Okay. My 90-day goal was to pick a Bible app and complete 3 new books by July. Okay. Right. And then my 30-day goal was to read Proverbs each month, every day, right. 1 page a day. So how did I do that? Okay, I'll give you an example of how I did that. Okay, so I didn't go from the Bible all the way from Genesis all the way to Revelations. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I found 2 apps that are free. One of them is the Bible app, which is YouVersion, which I love. Okay. I look at Proverbs every day off of that. I mean, and now I used to read Proverbs, but now I like the narrator telling me, just reading the what it is. And then what I've just discovered, I don't know how I missed this, but the verse of the day, they have a different person talking about the verse of the day. Yeah. Right. And then they have the scripture. But the thing that I don't like about that is that you can only listen to it once. You can't go back.
You can't go back.
I'm like, why did they do that? I'm like, what?
I do it. You have to call corporate. Somebody call corporate.
Yes. Can you call for me? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other app that I like is the Pray app. And the thing that I love about the Pray app is that James Earl Jones narrates the Bible.
Oh, well, that's enough right there. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. But here's the other thing that I really love is Bible sagas. Okay. Remember all the stories that you learn, from the stories. So there's the narrator that it's like a couple of minutes and they tell you these stories. But there's the thing. they got sound effects and everything. And
Yes.
it's amazing. So that was the way that I was able to accomplish my faith goal.
Right.
And, you know, that just gives you a little snippet as to how you break it down. But I'm telling you, you do the 7 goals. I mean, the 7 areas, and you do the goals like that. When you come back a year from now, you'll be surprised.
You'll be
Right.
surprised. Oh, that's so good.
Good,
That's
good,
so good. We have done that in the past. I've done that in the past. And I have to say, you're right. Just there's something about writing it down and
Yes.
really taking time for that matters, and speaking that out into the world. I love that. And we are all, spiritual people, so we know. And then talk to me now, because something that blew my mind was, writing it down every day, that focus. So do you guys look at your goals every single day?
That's what I have to work on. I do not look like I set my goal, but I don't look at it. I know Robin is very good at that.
Yeah.
And I am working hard to do the same thing,
Right,
because she really does accomplish everything that she set out to do, because she really methodically do that every day. So that's something that I am working on, to do that every day, and it's important. But you have to take that time out of your day every day and set it aside and say, this is what I'm going to do at this time to this time, and then you can get it done. You really can. You know.
So is there a time where you feel as if you have failed at your goals? What do you do? That never happens, Robin?
I readjust. I course correct.
Okay.
So, meaning
So,
that
yeah,
if there's
that's
no
good.
failure, it's like I ain't get there.
You
Uh,
yeah, right. That's good. I didn't fail. I'm just not there.
It's
You
not
know,
there.
Right.
It's very important
Uh,
not to fear failure, because we learn more from our failures. We need to be comfortable failing forward. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
gonna fail, but
All
fail
right. That's
forward.
good. I like that. That's
Okay.
good.
I think what Alicia said is that the fear of doing a thing or not doing a thing is what holds a lot of people back
Right.
from that. And then I used to think, because you asked a good question, it's like if you set a goal and then you don't get there, you're like, I didn't, but it's
Right.
everything's a process.
Right. Got you.
Process. So it's like you have a goal and you didn't get there, and in that time frame, then you readjust it.
Got you.
You readjust your strategy, you readjust your mindset, and if it's important to you, then you keep going. So
Yeah, you said that pretty fast, Robin. You was like, I said, when you fail, you said no.
No, and I know where it's coming
It's
from.
her
with that,
mindset.
because
It's
you
the
was
mindset. It's the
Right.
course
mindset.
correct. And
Course
that's another
correct.
reason why your
Course
goals
correct.
need to be
Okay.
written down as to where you feel you should be
That's
at
good. That's
in
good.
that goals part. So you know in 30 days this is where you should be. If you're not there, you course correct so that you can
I
get
like
there.
that. Okay.
So you'll never you don't feel like a failure, even though you may fail forward, you won't feel like a failure, because you are working on course correcting all of the time, because there are unforeseen occurrences that happen where
Wow.
you
Okay.
can't meet that goal.
I'm beginning to feel
can't feel like
really
a failure.
smart on here. I'm beginning to feel
Very
really
smart.
smart.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too. I feel better already.
when you said, do you fail? And then I said, no, because
Right.
even with my goals, remember I said I have to make sure that they're my goals. Because if it's my goal, then it belongs to me.
There you go. That's good. That's good. Right. How can you fail at it? It's mine. Right.
Yeah, it's mine.
Right.
And I asked
Okay.
God, is this right for me? So I'm like, give me a sign. Am I supposed to be doing, so no, I don't fail at my goal. That's for
Right.
me.
That's good.
But
That's good.
Robin, you look at your goal every single day, and I see you, Alicia. So hold on, don't lose anything you're going to say. You look at your goal every day. Talk about that discipline. Talk about that.
I've been doing, what it is? I have to do it every day, because I make money. The only way I'm going to make money, and I'm talking about my business goals, and that's the one I'm talking about, then I have to remember what they have to look at them. I'm like, am I doing it? Am I moving forward? How many orders I have to look at it, because otherwise I might get distracted.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I have to look at it every day. And then I actually write down the things that I need to do to achieve that portion of the goal every day. So I know if I got time to nap.
Right. Right.
Because there will be a nap. There will be a nap.
There will be a nap sometime in that day.
Look at them every day. And I'm realistic with my goals. When Alicia said about realistic, and I'm realistic, and I give myself time and contingency time, right? Things like, this is my goal and I don't know what's coming. Let me give myself some padding for the things that I just can't know. And I've learned that. I've learned to pad in, put, buffer my time frame for inconvenient happenstances. So yeah, I look at them every
That's
day.
good. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. The course correct caught my attention also.
Absolutely.
That was good. Instead of failure, I just correct. I just get
Correct.
back on course. And when I first met Robin, I heard her, I was like, I'm gonna wait and see if she talk like that in like a month. I'm like, where she get all this energy? Like, in a month, she gonna be like, yeah, well,
And here
But
we are,
no,
years later.
she's like that every day.
Every
But
day.
you know why I'm like that every day? It's because I just woke up. Like I
Yes, she
just
takes
woke
naps.
up. I'm like, they're like, you have so much
Takes a
energy.
nap.
I'm like, because
Yeah, I just took a nap. Yeah.
I just woke up.
I remember we
No,
went to our
Let's
first.
go to Alicia before she lose
Okay,
her thought.
go ahead,
We
go
don't wanna
ahead,
lose
go
her
ahead,
thought.
Alicia. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Nate. But I wrote it down because I was like,
Okay.
to make sure
Write it down, you guys. That's important. Write it down.
Yeah.
I write stuff down. One of the things that I was there's a couple of quick things that I wanted to say and share that Robin made me think about, and Warlesea made me think about, is that I think that a lot of times, well, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you have to be resilient.
Right.
There are going to be things that are thrown in your path. And I think a lot of people that did not succeed during this pandemic did not pivot. They did not know how to pivot. They refused to pivot. They pivoted too late. So you have to be willing to, work in reality, face what's really happening,
Right.
and then course correct, make adjustments, do what you have to do to push through. But so that's the first thing that I wanted to just talk about, because my
Right.
sister were talking about, all those types of things. The other thing is, I think that people have stopped dreaming. People have stopped dreaming. They've been beat down so hard, in life, that they just have given up dreaming bigger. So you talked about, I don't look at my everyday goals all the time. I mean, I'm working my business, I'm working my goals, but one of the things that keeps me going, inspires me, is that I'm in my office, and I have up on my wall right here in front of me I have my BHAGs, my big, hairy, audacious goals that are written out. I don't have a vision board or anything with pictures. I have it written out, like my dream house, description, my business, how I want to scale it up, scale it out, not just the one that I have right now, but an umbrella that has many different divisions. And then I have some other things that are, other things that I put in there, different things that I want to do. I just had a conversation with my daughter. The reason Mama's working so hard right now is not just because Mama likes to work. The reason I'm working so hard right now is
You like it. You do like it. You do.
I do like it, but there's a purpose. There's a purpose. And I said, the reason is that I'm doing this for us, our family. I want to take dream when this COVID thing is behind us and we get back to international travel and stuff like that. I want to be able to take dream vacations where I can take my 2 kids, my husband, and we are gone. Okay, wherever I want to go in the world for as long as I want to go.
And go there first class.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then if I'm lucky enough, if they ever decide to get married and have grandkids, I'll take the whole clan.
Yeah.
Okay. All expenses paid, because I see how other folks do that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to do that. So that's the reason why. But the mechanism that I've learned, I just learned this from another entrepreneur who is a sister that has grown a $21 million business over 20 years. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can follow her. Okay. What she taught, and I'm doing this, is to pick, because sometimes I think people pick too many things that they want to do on the list, and then they can't get to hardly any of them. 5 annual goals, 5 goals that you want to do this year. If you only think that you can do 3 of them, pick 3, but don't pick more than 5. Okay. Then you take the 5 goals and you break those goals down, each one down into quarterly benchmarks. Then you break those quarterly benchmarks down into monthly milestones. And you take the monthly milestones and break them down into weekly deliverables. And then the weekly deliverables are broken down into daily actions, but only three daily actions that are must perform daily actions to move the goal forward. You can't go to bed at night until those 3 actions are done. That's how important those 3 actions are. Okay. Yes. And everything is, I think, you're probably already doing this, Robin, you're probably already doing this, but this is when I heard that, I was like, oh, that is a game plan. Mm-hmm. You take the SMART goals and then you do a game plan, and that's how you get pushed through. And that's something new. That's a new tool. I'm always learning. That's a new thing I'm gonna implement this year.
I always say that when you're looking at your goals, every now and then, every day, however you look at them, but Alicia said 3 things. If there's 3 things that I'm going to do these 3 things, or this one thing, whatever you determine needs to be done, do it and do it first. So I challenge myself to do the things I don't want to do, because there's some things that to get to my goal, I just don't want to do them. Yeah. So I do them first so that I know if I didn't get anything else done, then at least I did that one thing or those 3 things. So my tip, I guess, to reaching your goal is do the heavy lifting first.
Yeah.
Yes, I was actually going to say that, because there are many of a day, like I was going to say to Nate, there was many of a day that you do not want to do the goals that is set before you. You just don't want to do it. I will sometimes wake up in the morning knowing what I have to do that day, and I just want to go back to sleep, because I'm like, I don't feel like doing all these different things, but I know that if I do not, I won't reach my goal. And going back to it being my goal, knowing that it's something that I truly want, then that's what is the driving force to get me to get on up and do those things that I don't want to do. So it's not like we're doing all these things on a daily basis, while we're singing and dancing and like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to the next thing. But we're not. Some days it's begrudgingly we do those things that we have to do. But there are some good days too, but then there are those days where you just don't want to do it.
Right.
And I want to say this, because this, I think we talk about the goals, and we're weaving in business. And I want to say this is my nutrition side on there, but whatever the goal is, part of it should be focused on how are you feeling your body, because if that's not part of your daily behavior, like your mind and your body, what it needs. So before I even do my business goals, legitimately, I do wake up. I get up 2 hours.
She said, I do wake up.
I actually wake up, and 2.5 hours before I actually start doing my business goals, I do my personal goals. Like I do me for 2.5 hours. I read and do the things I have to do for my mindset. And then I get into my business goals. And when I do it that way, I'm in spirit that way. Okay. And I plan my meals and I do all of those things. And I feel like the most, success, I mean, everybody can define it for themselves, but for me, in order to be successful, what success looks like to me, honestly, is being well rested, actually, but being able to fuel my body well, because everything else I know I can do as long as I'm not first. And I plan my meals every day.
Right.
Every day.
Fuel your body so you can fuel your dreams, right?
Right. That's a Facebook post right there.
Right. That is a good one.
Fuel your body to fuel your dreams. Yeah.
I have a question from one of our somebody in the chat. This is Latanya. She's asking, do you recommend a business coach?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That's a good question.
I know I do recommend a business coach. Think of any successful ball player, golfer, baseball player, whatever. They all have a coach. They all have a coach. So that coach needs to look at your swing from a different angle if you're a golfer. And then he can help you course correct. so that you will be even better at your craft. So I always recommend having a coach to help you, because the most successful people out there, they have a coach.
I thought about it. I was like, I have a coach
Yes.
yes. And so one of them,
Coaches.
you think about it, some of my mentors or coaches I've never met because I study them through their writings or their teaching. Then my mother is an entrepreneur. So she really is my coach. And I didn't even think about it, but she's that one that is really guiding me on, how to do this thing called entrepreneurship.
Right.
Yeah, having a coach and somebody in your corner, because we're talking about goals, but when goals get seemingly very challenging, you need someone to tell you that you can do it or something, right? You need that cheering squad, and that helps.
And you need someone that can point out the blind spots that you can't see. And someone that's going to give you the tough love if you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're talking the talk but you're not walking the walk, and they're going to hold you accountable. It's important to make sure that you have the right coach.
Yeah, she do me like that all the time. And what I'm grateful for, my wife do that all the time. I'll be like, I don't want to hear that right now. No, and then I joke
That's
with
a
the
good coach.
I joke with the like, well, I only listen on Tuesdays. Today's Wednesday.
That's true.
Yeah, but interview the coach. Make sure you understand what you're asking for, what you need,
right?
And make sure that person is equipped to be able to give it to you, and compare and contrast different people's skill sets and what have they done in the past for other people and stuff like that. So it's very important. You're going to be investing your time and your money. You want to make sure that person can help you across the finish line.
And you got to make sure you are coachable. You have this person,
you
have this person helping you.
Hey, you didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
Tell him, Warlesea, tell him. Lord of mercy.
I wasn't necessarily talking about you.
All right, well.
Yes, you were. Own that, girl.
Yeah.
I was not.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. You stepped into that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, she was right on time with that. Okay.
That was good. That's true.
You have to be coachable. Because if you do want to succeed, you can't fight with your coach and say, no, I don't think I want to do that.
Right.
So,
Sometimes when you're getting ready to get started, it might, before you say, this is my goal, you may want to start with a little bit of research, because sometimes we've seen something that someone else has done and we just think, oh, I want to do that. But it helps to take a step back and do a little reading. You said be coachable. I always think about, classes that I've taken that have helped me to learn what I don't want to do. I tell people, I changed my major 5 times in college. It was just so helpful, because I definitely know what I don't want to do.
Right.
Because I took the time to delve into a few things and say, no thanks. Rather than going out day one and say, I want to do this, and spending money on a coach and doing a lot of things before you kind of do it. Just take some time and get it. I like what you said, Robin, when you said, I write this goal down and I really work my way through that. That's very powerful. And then I want to say, those of you that are here, all 3 of these ladies have coached me. Every one of them have coached me. And so when you say be teachable, be coachable, sometimes you don't even have to have deep and penetrating conversations. You can watch people and see what they do. My mother used to always say, see for others and know for yourself. So before you spend a bunch of money, I believe in coaching. I absolutely do. And then before, maybe along with that, find a mentor. Find someone who's doing what you want to do. And I did this with Robin. She'll confirm it. Invite them to lunch.
And interview them.
And have
interview them and just ask them questions and allow them to speak and don't interrupt.
Yeah.
doing what you do. What,
Right.
and that's a great
I'm
way.
gonna repeat what I said before about making sure it's your goal, because I think it's so much noise, and the world is telling you what the world wants you to do, or you should be doing, or how it should be done. And so I've learned to pull it back and say, well, actually, I've learned through trial and error, because I used to have goals that, when I say they really weren't mine, they were goals that you're supposed to have if you are whatever you're, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a Black woman, this is what your goal should be. You should have this, you should have that, you should drive this. And so I achieved goals that were not my own. They seemed
Right,
they were mine.
right, got
But
you.
I'm like, okay, I have all of the goals that have been placed upon me unconsciously sometimes. And I achieved them only to realize I don't even care about this
I
goal.
don't even like.
Right. That's
Right,
why.
Okay, I've done that.
got
That's
you.
why Brenetta said to take inventory.
Yeah.
She was saying it a different way. She said do some research, but what she was really, I think, saying, sit, be still.
Yeah.
You know, John Maxwell, one of my favorite leadership gurus and authors, talks about having thinking time, setting aside thinking time, and having a thinking place. Like, you know, like he has a thinking chair in a particular space in his house.
Robin.
Okay.
You do know mine, right? Oh my goodness.
Okay. You know, so you got, but the thing that she's talking about is actually do some introspection work.
Yeah.
And think about what it is that really lights your soul on fire. That's something that you really enjoy doing. You know, what is it that I'm really good at naturally? I don't even have to work that hard to do this because it's just part of my gift. And I would do this for free, you know, but make no mistake, you want to figure out a way to monetize it and make be able to make money at it.
Right.
Get the money.
Do it for free, it will ever feel like work. Okay.
Right.
And you can see if you can create a business around it or plug into, you know, a piece of that into the business that provides an outcome that's needed in the marketplace. That is what people really, I would encourage anybody, if you're stuck, if you're thinking about, I don't really like where I'm at, and life is too short to be doing something that you don't like doing just for the money. Don't stop, recalibrate, rethink, do some work, figure out what you really want to do, put it on a paper, Ben Franklin it, pros, cons, okay, and then go about the business of trying to figure out where you can find a way to be able to do that so that you don't waste your life. This is no dress rehearsal, folks. It is a one-way.
Right.
Make it count.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I'm probably the one person, the world will say, and everybody say, think big, go bigger, do these things. And so I don't know who else says this, but I decided that for me, less is more. So my goal, honestly, my number one goal is peace and tranquility. That like really sets everything else, even with what I'm doing with my business or what I'm doing with anything. It's like, will this lead to the ultimate goal, which is peace and tranquility? And that's how I know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's why it's like, I can reach the goal because I know what it is. And it's very small.
But that certainly does keep you grounded. And there's a scripture that says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, but lose his own soul? And I think so often we've watched people be willing to sell their soul to have something.
I did at first. I mean, I was different. Yeah. That's how I know that's how I'm different, because I was, different.
And so we're saying that it's time, and I love that. I think I forgive me for not remembering, because I've been reading several authors, but he talked about how creative time is your most valuable time.
Yeah.
And he has a very difficult name. I'll find it, and his last name is very difficult to say. So his name is Carey, but he talks about knowing your energy zones. This is something Robin is like so good at. You know your energy zones, and you find that time of the natural time when your energy is high and you're thinking feeling brilliant and focused and it's easy. And then he says, capture that time and use it for creative purposes. Not just creative purposes, but whatever you were designed to do, that it's that's green. So you have a green zone, a yellow zone, and a red zone. And I'll find his name and put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I read his book at the end of last year, and I kind of said my green is for God. My green zone, I found my green zone. My green zone is for God, and that is giving my best there. Been so powerful in terms of creating balance. Because I'm like,
Balance and
Right.
boundaries. Balance and boundaries.
balance.
Oh,
Talking about goals and reaching it. There's boundaries and the ability to say no to things that don't belong in your
that
day.
don't serve you or serve your purpose,
Right.
serve what you're trying to
Exactly.
do. And the thing that about the boundaries, Robin,
Yeah.
it is so important, especially right now,
Now. Yeah.
is toxic people,
Mhm.
toxic situations, toxic environments,
Everything.
no drama zone. You
Right.
got, you got to, and you may have to actually excise some people,
Yeah.
move some
Mhm.
people.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Make sure that you keep yourself away from certain environments and situations that deplete your energy. They literally drain your battery.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
It's like,
Okay.
go ahead, Nate, because it's like what Bernetta said is, well, I don't, I won't be able to quote you, but it's like where your energy zone, where you thrive, right? So in your energy zone, you are setting your boundaries and you're in flow. And when
Yeah.
you're in there, magic happens.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens, really.
I
And
really
that,
like that statement that you made, Robin, about your. You didn't say it like this, but that's how I heard it. Your
what is,
goal should actually lead to the peace, and
yeah,
because if you're not at peace, then what's the purpose? I know I'm like that. I could have the perfect job
right,
in someone's mind, but if I'm not at
Right.
peace,
correct,
I would rather be somewhere building a highway, you
yeah.
know,
hmm
as long as I have my peace of mind, and
I
so
tell
that
you
that
that.
makes a lot
Yep.
of
Yeah,
sense.
Me
that
too.
is it because I know this from experience of again reaching goals. I was gonna reach the goal no matter what. I was so driven. But I did it, and I was busted, disgusted, and beat up, and
Right,
not
exactly.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I got the goal, and once you achieve a goal, the journey or the
Mhm.
part of it is on the way. Because
Yes.
once you get it, then you're like, okay, what's next,
Right.
right? So
Right.
it's like that's the journey, and I've learned that when we're getting the pursuit of is where the fun is. We've just not learned to have as much fun as we should with the journey because we're like, I just want to get to that. And how many times have you gotten to that, and that was
yeah. Well,
Right. Exactly.
it
Yeah.
was
And what you paid for that
Hmm?
wasn't worth it. You
right,
lost
There's
your family, your
sacrifices and
relationship, you lost your
mhm.
health. We heard the story about the guy who his wife, literally peed her pants, and we're thinking,
Yeah,
she,
I told yeah.
it's the insanity of some of the things that people do to reach this goal, and she's now shame. I mean, who wants
Yeah.
to remember that, recall that embarrassment and that pain? So keeping those things in mind, it's just uh, there's so many pieces to this, and no wonder people fail within the first 30 days. If they haven't considered any of this stuff. Wow,
right,
I can't
right.
believe it's 8:30 already.
Yeah, it
Oh my
is.
goodness.
It is.
Yeah. This went by quick. It went by
Good.
quick.
Good.
So, you guys, we want to go around and do your final thoughts, and I want to first of all thank you. This has been invaluable. We should pay, and I want to say, you all, if you want to support our process here and our ministry here, you can give. I know Miss Monica is in the chat, providing some information about um, our giving opportunities, and don't you feel like we should be able to give these beautiful ladies something for this
Oh yeah,
invaluable
absolutely.
information. Talk about getting a coach. You guys just got a life lesson tonight that is probably going to make a difference when you sit down to make your next goal and think about that. So powerful. Thank you, ladies. What I want to go around and give you a chance to say, your final thought. What last message do you want to give to our listeners out there and those who will listen to this even beyond?
Right.
Warlesea, we'll start with you. What's your
Okay. Well, my thoughts are just when you're working towards your goal, or when you are thinking about your goal, you're writing everything down and you're making sure that it is your goal. You just want to make sure it's your goal that you're working towards, and discipline your disappointments, because they are a lot. There are a lot
That's
of
That's
powerful.
good
disappointments.
to hear right
There are
there.
a lot.
Yeah.
Disappointments.
That's
There
good.
are lots of disappointments, but you don't want those disappointments to take you down or get you to the point where you're like, oh, the goal is not worth it because you're disappointed. You're
Right.
going to, like, I think one of the ladies had mentioned already earlier that, knowing that Robin, I think she mentioned it, knowing that there are going to be setbacks, there are going to be obstacles, there are going to be things out there. Just prepare for them and discipline your disappointments and say, hey, you know what? It's time to readjust.
That's good.
But
That's
you
good.
stay the course, stay in line and stay the course.
Oh my God, that's so good. Because I know, I'll get on the scale, I'll be good and I'll get on the scale, but it's like not saying, I'm like, it's not
That's
saying what
enough.
I wanted to say. But if
Yes.
I'll keep being good,
Mm.
eventually
Yes.
it'll say what I want to say. Good. That's a good
That
point.
is
Discipline
good.
your
Good point.
disappointments.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
come on, Miss Alicia.
I would say a couple of things. I would say, first of all, don't shortchange yourself.
All
I
right.
would say don't if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So I would prefer you believe that you can.
Right.
Okay. And then on top of that is I would ask that you would make a decision. Make a decision today. It's very, very first day, the very first Monday of the week in the first week of the year. Make a decision about what you really want this year for yourself or for your family and the goals that you're setting. Um, take action. We've given you a couple of different suggestions in terms of how you can do that. And then be consistent with your
Be
activity.
consistent.
Okay. Don't give up. Don't get out of line, because if you do, the answer is always going to be no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
good.
Beautiful.
Ooh, I'm writing it down. So many notes. Oh my gosh, we should have charged admission. All right, come on, Robin, go ahead.
I would say to pay attention to the lessons that are coming to you through the process, because there are lots of lessons, and sometimes you have to, because we talked about resiliency, so you have to look at, because there are obstacles, so you have to look at, am I supposed to be resilient here because this is my goal and I just have to get up and rise higher, or are these obstacles because God is telling me he's closing this door because this isn't for me. And so in order to determine that, because sometimes it's confusing, you're like, should I get up or should I fold them or fold them? Like, which one is mine? So I would say to really, that's where you sit in that quiet space of prayer and ask for guidance and direction to know, because intuitively we know what we should be doing, right? And again, I say pay attention to the lessons, because it's not the goal, it's actually the journey.
Yep.
That who you become when you get to whatever it is. So, and when you get to whatever goal you achieve, take some time before you move on to the next, I checked that off, I've got to the pounds, or I got this promotion, or whatever it is. Just be in the moment. Give yourself time to just digest what you did and celebrate yourself before you just move on.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
That's
Good.
good. All right.
I want to give one final thought, and this panel reflects this. Find and embrace people that are like-minded. it is invaluable to have people in your life who have those same ideals. And my sister friends on this screen are people that I connect with, and they help me. They remind me. They're there to, lift me up, encourage me. Sometimes they're like, "Come on, Bernetta," and they love me enough to tell me the truth. And they're amazing examples. Sometimes the best thing you can do is be quiet and listen to those good voices around you. Right. But it starts by making sure that you've surrounded yourself. So when Alicia said there may be some people, that you have to release back into the wild, be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because as my mom used to say, eagles do not hang out with chickens.
Mm.
And if you're no, sorry, I wasn't trying to be difficult.
Well, people are just signing off.
Babe. But the truth is, if
truth.
you're going to fly, then you can't keep hanging out.
That's true.
With chickens.
That's true.
You gotta surround yourself with more eagles. And eagles will teach eagles how to fly. They do. Eagles know how to do it. And so that's, and all the people I have around my life, when it's time for me to think about my entrepreneurial goals, these ladies, these faces right here are the ones I'm like, okay, you guys.
And we're so different. We're also different.
Smiling.
Right, we are.
Yeah. We all know it's community.
Yes, and we need each other. We lean on each other, and I love the differences.
We don't earn anything, from helping each other. It's from pure love and joy, and just trying to make sure that you're doing the best, that you're living your best life. I mean, you're being abundant and fruitful, and that's where it's just genuine, and it's so good.
Yep.
That's when it gets good, when you can give and just love,
right?
Because that's a good thing to do.
Love is good.
Love is good. Yes, I love it.
Love is good.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Nate, you want to do our prayer out tonight?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah,
but I was looking at Robin over there.
Don't look at Robin. I'm right here. I'm bowed down waiting. Amen. Come on.
All right.
Come on,
so, dear God, we just thank you for
just
this
so much
excellent opportunity to just learn so much from these ladies, dear God, these professional-minded women that you have placed before us on tonight. So we thank you. We thank you for each one. And we ask, Lord, that you will pour into their endeavors. Pour into it, dear God. We ask for like supernatural income increases, dear God. And Lord, we just thank you for the time that they spent. We thank you for the words of encouragement, for the wisdom. Thank you, Lord, for the insight. Just so much insight, God. So we thank you. And Lord, we ask that those who heard these words of instructions, dear God, that you will just seal it in their minds, dear God, that they will have an opportunity to see more doors open, dear God, in their favor. So we thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you for just a fantastic time tonight, Lord. It's good to slow down and listen.
Just listen.
It's good to slow down and listen and slow down and learn. So we thank you for the learning opportunity. We thank you for the teaching opportunity, dear God. And we just bless you. And as you continue to bless us, continue to help us increase. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Well, beautiful. Thank you, Alicia.
I love you more.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you for having
Robin.
Right.
See you
Thank
later.
you for having me.
So, Robin, we know what you're going to do. You're going to take a nap.
No, I just
She had a nap. She's had a nap. She's like ready to go.
Oh, you ready to go? Okay.
Yes.
All
She got a
Yeah,
second
nap.
win. She got a second win now. She's got
right.
ready to go tonight.
I have
Yeah.
got to figure out the nap thing. I've got to figure it out. Like it's one of my conundrums.
And even when I had a job, like when I worked for someone else, I would still take naps. So I would go out to my car like on my lunch break because my brain gets so I was like just overworked that I need that downtime, and then that's when ideas come to me. So when I nap, then I have ideas for stuff. So it's just it's like everybody has their thing. That's my thing.
That's good.
Okay, so wait a minute. What time do you get what time do you get up in the morning?
6:30 or 7.
6:30. Okay, so then what time do you take your nap?
Around 2.
And then what time? And you get up for it.
But today I took it later. So today I took it from 5:30 to 6:30 today.
So you sleep for an hour. That's your hour. And do you set an alarm or do you just wake up automatically?
I set an alarm.
Okay. And then when you get up, when you get up after your hour nap, you get up, and then so now how late are you gonna stay up, and when do you go to bed?
Right.
So when I get up, I go back to work. So I'll go back. So today it's 9 o'clock now. So I will do a couple more hours of work, maybe an hour because it's a little bit late. And then I'll read, and then I'll go back to sleep.
So you're going to bed at like what, 11:30, 12?
I want to do like 10:30. So I want to make sure I get my naps in earlier so that because now I'm like,
I took a nap today.
You did? Wasn't it? It's just wonderful. It just.
But see, the thing that I'm surprised at is that I've always been told, that if you sleep more than 20 or 30 minutes, a 20 or 30 minute is a power nap. But if you sleep longer than that, you would wake up tired because you're gonna, no, it doesn't happen to you.
It does not for me, and I've been a napper like since I was a baby. Like when the preschoolers, when they would put all the babies down, I'd be like, yes, let me nap. I was
the only baby that wanted to nap.
I was a baby. They were like,
Oh,
they wanted to play. And I'm like, nap time, y'all. They were like,
what's your favorite thing at school? Nap time.
Right.
No, when we went to conference, that was the thing. Robin was like, okay, look, y'all can do whatever you want to, but I need to go find a place where I'm gonna take my nap.
And my mom is a napper. This is the thing. My mom is a napper, and then Miss Kimmy, she's starting to be a napper too.
Wow.
Okay.
There's, you know what? I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah, look into it. Yeah, do some research.
It's like, because we can always learn. I'm always learn.
You can.
But I did take a nap today. I was very grateful for my little nap, and I felt refreshed.
I took a nap so I
It
could
was
be
only
refreshed.
30 minutes though. It was only 30
Yeah.
minutes.
No, mine was only 30 minutes too. So
30 minutes.
Yeah.
But just think about all the stuff that we have to deal with and think about, and the mind is just doing and figuring and this and that. And for me, I'm just like, my mind has to be quiet. And if I'm up, it's not going to be quiet.
That's a good
The other thing is, I said I solve problems. So I'll go to bed, I'll say, okay, I'll have something I want to figure out.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to sleep and I'll have it figured out.
Okay.
The other way that you can do that, just throwing this out there, is that you can do a walk outside, not with anybody else. You got to walk alone. Okay. And when you walk alone outside, it's amazing the clarity that you can get on problem solving.
So you
talk out loud to God, ideas come in.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing.
So your thing might be the walking. So the nap might not do it for you. It may be the walk. So the walk doesn't do it for me. It's just the nap.
Yeah.
So everybody has to find their thing that rejuvenates their spirit.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna be checking in the naps. I'm gonna be checking in the naps.
I'm gonna walk and nap.
Walk in nap. I know that's right.
We gotta
I
incorporate
need all of it. I need all of
those
it.
two goals. That's right. The thinking chair, the nap, the walking, all of that. Okay.
I've had a bad experience with napping at work. First time I went to my car and took a nap.
And never woke up.
There was some knocking on my window. When I looked up, he had a badge on.
It was security. Oh, it was a police officer. Excuse me, what are you doing here? You can't sleep here, sir. You can't sleep here.
Set an alarm, sir.
Yeah.
'Cause I'll sleep in my car too. Anywhere. It doesn't even
She's
matter.
good. She can nap
I will
anywhere.
Yeah.
So true.
I
It's
don't
But
even
you
care.
said the secret. Always set
Set an
the
alarm,
alarm.
so
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah. Set an alarm and the right alarm. Like make sure it says PM if you're supposed to work at the PM, not
Oh,
AM.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, you'll sleep till the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've done that.
Funny. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
All
All
right,
right.
ladies.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Happy
been
New Year.
fun.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh,
Oh
wow.
God,
That
that
was
was
so good.
fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right, so I saw Pastor Revis pop
Oh,
on.
wow. You guys, that so good. Like, I can't believe if you didn't learn something tonight, I'd be shocked. I'm certain you got something. I'd love to hear about it in the chat.
Latanya said sleepwalk.
Oh gosh. Type it in the chat, you guys. And another thing is, please, please, please go to our YouTube page. It's Let's Talk with Nate and Bree. Later on tonight, this video will be there. Would you go on and just like it, share it, and make a comment? Say something about what you saw tonight, what you learned tonight. I know it's an extra step, but we would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. We have a wonderful show. It's going to be all guys. So this week it was all girls. I didn't think that through. Honestly, those
Well,
are just my
next
good
week
friends.
won't be all
But
guys.
I thought it was going to be your men's show.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's all pastors are going to be on.
Well,
And
the show is about pastors. When we always talk about showing our pastors appreciation, so they're gonna let us know how they would like to be appreciated.
how to appreciate your pastor.
Yeah. And then they're
Oh,
also
gosh.
gonna be giving us strategies for the new year. With
Some vision.
just everything.
Yeah,
with our
coolness.
finances, with our families, just in every area. So we're gonna have a good
so
time
that's
with
going to
them.
be really good. I hope you will take some of the information you heard tonight. I really wish I could see your faces so you could tell me how many of you are going to just go do some goals. You're going to look at those 7 key life areas and maybe think through something you want to do in each one. These are all powerful tips and tools. Maybe there's some people that you say I've got to get close to, or some others that you say, you know what, I got to kind of limit their access to me because I need to connect with some folks that's going where I want to go. We love you guys. This is like the favorite part of our week, right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy clams.
Absolutely.
Carrie Newhoff is the author that I was speaking of, and he was
Uh-huh.
talking about, I think his book is called At Your Best. And I read that book this year, and it's really given me some ideas about it. I put his name in the chat. I'll also put it in the link when we post this to YouTube. We love you guys.
All
Monica,
right.
thank you
We
so
saw,
much,
I saw
Monica.
Johnny pop in also.
Oh, thank
Pastor
you,
Revis.
Johnny and Pastor Revis.
Nakia.
And Nakia's on. Johnny
right,
Gonzalez, we love you. I left you a message today.
All right,
and
Mom.
so
we love
many-
you, girl.
We love all of you all. Thank you so much for being the best part of our week. We will see
Yeah.
you back here, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great,
God
great
bless.
week. We'll see ya.